to join the call today. So before we kickstart the formal interview, can you please give our readers a bit of introduction about yourself and your motivation for your decision to choose this industry? Thank you.
Yes, my name's Todd Humphreys. I run cybersecurity go-to-market practice for WEI currently. I've actually been in this industry for about 30 years. I got into technology years ago at Lotus Development Corporation, the original spreadsheet company that is really no longer. And it had some opportunity to get into the network analysis and diagnostics market shortly after that, selling a technology that people will remember called sniffer, believe it or not. And that was a packet analysis, protocol analysis technology for troubleshooting and diagnostics on enterprise networks. And it quickly led me into the security arena because that same sniffer technology was the basis of intrusion detection and prevention technology. So it was a natural fit from using a core traffic analysis technology to a technology that looked for security threats on enterprise networks. So did that for many years. That I probably got into the first cybersecurity technology in about 1998, and that took me through a number of different companies like ISS, Network Ice, a number of startup organizations, and I spent about 11 years at Palo Alto Networks, who was the Nextgen firewall pioneer, and also incorporated a lot of the same detection and analysis technologies into their firewalls, and made a decision in the last year to run the cybersecurity practice with WEI, Worldcom Exchange, and it's been great. It's a very well-established organization.
Yeah. So from your experience from different organizations, from startups and then big tech companies, so what brought you on your next journey at Worldcom Exchange? What is your inception idea of this company?
So WorldCom Exchange has been around for 35 years, and they've been a very large, well-resourced, well-respected technology integrator, focusing heavily on network integration, data centers, server storage, virtualization. But there was always security woven into everything that WEI did, but there was a need and a real desire by WEI to build out a pure cybersecurity practice as well that went beyond not simple, but network-based security solutions into the SecOps, the SOC, incident response organization, into the cloud environments, into the teams that manage assets. And I've been working with them for a number of years, and they came to me with an opportunity to run this expansion and bring to market new solutions. And it was just a wonderful opportunity. Gave me the opportunity to get away from a single vendor solution as well into a wide variety of different technologies and vendors that we can partner with. So it's just a great opportunity.
Yeah, let's dive deeper into the technicalities a bit. So can you please share with our readers some of the innovative cybersecurity solutions that you helped pioneer or implemented at the company?
Certainly, there's a number. I think on the working with our strengths in network security, we focus heavily on zero trust solutions. So solutions for segmentation and micro-segmentation of networks to limit the potential blast radius of an attack or a compromise, into ZTNA, zero trust network access solutions. We also have put a lot of emphasis on the Security Operations Center, the teams that detect, analyze, and respond to the threats that are being thrown at their organizations. So we do a lot of work with automation technologies, with SIM, with next generation security operations and incident response platforms. That's been a big area of focus for us. I think we realized that to build a comprehensive security operations center, it involves integrating a lot of disparate solutions. We have expertise to do that and to bring these things together so that they're cost effective, but highly effective in detection and prevention of attacks. So a lot of emphasis on security operations, and a few other areas. Would you like me to go into other areas as well, or is that enough?
Yes. So to follow up with that, can you
Yes.
please provide us a couple of examples of how you leverage your understanding of network communications and protocol interactions?
Absolutely. So yeah, as I mentioned back at the beginning, my background was in protocol analyzers, connecting to a network, looking at the interactions between devices and the protocol communications that they committed to the network. That was the basis of the cybersecurity industry from a network security standpoint. The team at WEI has had deep experience in this, from the point of view of having to integrate building modern networks. So the layer 2, layer 3 side of the equation, but then also helping customers implement applications on the network properly, um, so that they operate, they move data effectively, they operate from a user's perspective in a fast performing way. We've had a lot of experience doing that, and it's if you look at the OSI model, layer 2, layer 3 was really the basis of our networking capability, but we've quickly worked into data centers, applications, and up into the cloud, helping customers deploy those things successfully.
Yeah,
So that,
interesting.
yes.
Right. Yes, that's definitely helpful. Thank you so much for sharing.
Mhm.
So our readers would love to understand more about the innovative go-to-market strategies or initiatives that you led. So can you
Yep,
please share a couple of those for your cybersecurity vendor?
absolutely. I can share two. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's definitely fine. Yeah.
I think that the first one, we are a very large partner of Fortinet, one of the largest cybersecurity vendors on the planet.
Yeah.
And we got together with them a long time ago, but the way we started is we hired and trained a team of people to become experts on the Fortinet, initially the firewall technology and the firewall solution fabric that they built. And then after having the expertise, we did a very aggressive campaign to our customers to accentuate our expertise in the technology. So we made it less about the technology and more about our ability to implement and execute on the technology successfully. And it's based on those campaigns, we've built about 65 sizable Fortinet customers, where we are very much part of their team that implements and maintains the technology. So I think that was probably the biggest one. We really got our arms around Fortinet. We're now their largest partner in the Northeast, and the guy who leads the practice is the #2 Fortinet certified engineer in the country. So I think that was just a big commitment up front to technical expertise. So that was number one. Number two, my biggest initiative when I arrived at WEI was to get our security organization 100% behind Palo Alto Networks security operations technology called XSIAM. What we're proposing to our customers is that you can move away from these older legacy security operations technology stacks and into something much more integrated, much more geared towards the modern threat. It's a concept called platformization, where a single platform can do a lot more than a complicated integration of disparate products. One of my customers referred to it as the old way is the Rube Goldberg machine approach. You build a complicated machine that's very hard to build, maintain, very expensive, and you get less than stellar results. So we wanted to come to the market with a solution that could really provide a single platform to do all this. We've got a whole team behind it now. We've got a number of very successful deployments as well that's really revolutionizing how people do security operations.
Yeah.
Yes. So those are
So
probably two.
interesting. Yeah. Interesting. So
Mhm.
instead of building an old legacy tech stack, so WEI focusing more on building an integrated and full stack platform that can solve
Correct.
the entire needs for the clients themselves. So in that sense, how do
Yes.
you stay updated to the evolving threat landscape and emerging cybersecurity technologies in the market?
I'm sorry, I didn't catch the question. What was the
Yes, sorry. I was asking about how do you stay up to date with the evolving threat landscape and emerging cybersecurity technologies?
Sure. Well, I think there's a few things from the technology perspective. This is a very small industry. We know each other, especially when we've been around for 30 plus years. So that there's the beauty of being at an integrator like WEI is we become a rallying point for a lot of vendors and participants in the market. So we stay very close to our vendor partners.
Yeah.
Most of our vendor partners also have some form of research capability, security research, or a few people on their staff who are very close to the threat actor community and sort of understand either from a research perspective or from loose monitoring of the vendor community. Palo Alto and Fortinet, as an example, both have very, very large security research teams, and we interact with them all the time. So I think us staying in touch with the product management teams from our vendor partners and the threat research teams from our partners are probably the two biggest things. But we also have 85 engineers in the company, and they are constantly talking to people that they know. A lot of them came from maybe the kind of the gray hat world, and they know people, and they stay very up to date with what's going on in the underground. So
Yeah, it's
yep.
very interesting that you're focusing on the research as well as taking a more customer-centric approach. So
Mhm.
how do you approach building trust advisor relationships with the customers? Can you please elaborate deeper on that point?
Yeah, we've had a very good customer experience so far. We have about 450 customers, most of whom have been with us for over 20 years. So
Yeah.
it's less about hearing about a cool new product or a shiny new object, bringing it to the customer saying, "Have you heard about this?" We're much more of the discussion is it's ongoing about what problems are you trying to solve. How is the existing tech stack, for example, the SOC stack, working for you? Um, we take an approach to this. It's kind of a risk management approach to it. A lot of our customers will say we've made these investments in certain technologies, and we want to quantify how well the technologies are working for us. So we have some internal expertise, and we have a few partners who help us actually assess the effectiveness of their security controls. And
Mm.
by doing that, we can find out where the gaps are, where things need to be utilized better, how they can make what they have work better, and in some cases, what new technology might actually do to help that problem. But it's about helping them understand how to work with what they have, making what they have work better. And then if that's not solving the problem, then we turn to new technology. So I think they really appreciate that it's not just about selling them product, it's about understanding their environment.
Yeah, interesting. So
Yes.
now let's turn our attention to your leadership style. Can you
Yes.
please describe your experience in leading a very, multi functional teams to deliver complex cybersecurity solutions?
Yeah, it's a good question. You tend to let people take advantage of their own expertise. So you try to accentuate what individuals are good at. Again, we have people on our team that are Fortinet experts or security operations experts. Let them become the subject matter experts and nurture that. I would think from a go-to-market technology or perspective, you have to understand the technology you represent. So if you don't know what you're selling, I think it's frankly a little disrespectful to go to a customer and position yourself as an advocate for a solution if you don't understand it. And there's way too much of that happening in the industry. So I encourage my team to learn what is in their portfolio and be able to talk fluently about it, and don't just hand off the discussion to an SE or an architect or bring someone in later. I think that's probably the one of the biggest things. The other thing, I'm just from my experience in the industry, working with a lot of different vendors, um, embrace innovation. So there's a lot of really interesting new technology that's out there right now, but be very cautious about promises that sound too good to be true. The hottest new technology to solve a certain problem, if something about that sounds too good to be true, investigate your concerns. Make sure that you truly understand it. Does this technology really work, or is it spin? Is it positioning? So I think one of my colleagues calls it a spidey sense, like Spider-Man. You can sort of tell, you can sort of feel that there's something just not right. Pay attention to those concerns. Um, I think there's one or two other things. I think from customer interaction, how I talk to my people about customer interaction, we always look for the people at our customers who are excited about a certain technology and nurture that excitement. The best success you're going to have is if you bring a new solution to a company, find someone who wants to own it, who really truly wants to be the expert in that. Security automation technology is a great example of that. It's big, it's complicated, but it's revolutionary. And our success with this has been finding somebody in one of our customers who wants to become the subject matter expert. And our team tends to nurture those people.
Got
Make
it.
sense?
So, yeah, active listening, understand the product, embrace
Yeah.
innovation and specialization. That
Yes.
sums up the
And,
quality. Yeah, sorry.
we also, we talk about getting to know the threat research people at a lot of our vendors. Get them engaged with your customers as well. It's a completely different dialogue as well. Try to bring good content to the customer. Sorry, that
I
was just
see.
another thing I thought of.
Yeah,
Yep.
no, that totally makes sense. Yeah.
Mhm.
So, can you please share a bit about the strategies as well as the vision in both the short term and long term for WEI? What are the revenue growth drivers and like strategies or initiatives that you're thinking for the next
Mhm.
3 or 4 years?
Sure. I think the initial focus for the first year of the company is rounding out our technology and solution portfolio. We represent a lot of OEM third-party vendors, but there are certain gaps that we need to fill in our product portfolio. So that's going to involve the basics of onboarding with those vendors, but it's also going to involve educating our technical team and our sales team about
Yeah.
these solutions and the value they bring. So that is kind of in the first year, and not really sure I can share the revenue targets we're focused on, but we would like to see about a 3x improvement in the revenue we're getting from security specific products in the first year, and 5 years out, we're probably looking at about a 10 to 15x increase in revenue from the security portfolio. Um, we are doing a lot of things in terms of building an executive briefing center, customer-facing facilities where they can come in, work with our technology, get a lot more experience with what we're promoting and what they're trying to implement. We're trying to become a place where they can, come learn, set up their proof of concepts, et cetera. But I would also expect to see us hiring more people with more of a security focus as well. Today, the sales team at WEI is they cover all of our technologies. I think in order to really grow to the revenue targets I mentioned, we're going to need security specific sellers and security specific systems engineers. So that's also going to be a big focus of the go forward plan, and probably regional expansion as well. There's upstate New York, there's the tri-state area. We have people in the southeast as well, but I think there's other areas where we can see growth will come from expansion, geographical expansion as well.
Yeah, got it. Yeah.
Mhm.
So, what are some key lessons that you've learned over 30 plus years as an IT professional? And do you have some word of wisdom that you'd like to share to our aspiring young leaders who wants to enter the cybersecurity industry?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think be inquisitive. There needs to be a natural curiosity. If you really say you want to be in technology and you want to make this your career, there needs to be a bit of a passion for that as well.
Yeah.
So be inquisitive, ask a ton of questions. Um, Turn to the people who've been in the industry for a while. We got involved with an organization called Cyber Trust in Massachusetts, which is helping to nurture college students, often from underprivileged or diverse backgrounds, to get into cybersecurity. So I personally have been helping these kids build a network to the chief information security officers at large companies in our region. Um, I think the willingness of leadership to help the younger generation get into this business is super important. And when you see folks who've been in the business in a leadership level, like a chief security officer level, interact with the younger generation, there's a real enthusiasm. And I think everybody generally wants to help the younger generation move on. So I would say to the younger generation, don't be bashful. Find those people. They like mentoring the younger generation. I would say there's that. I would say, again, as you're looking to get into organizations, particularly startups, don't be afraid to take a pass on something that might not look like the right fit for you. There's a lot out there. It goes back to what I said about be skeptical. If something sounds too good to be true, make sure you ask the right questions to determine that you're not going to get into something that is less than what was promised. I'm trying to think what else. Stay in touch. Stay in touch with people. I've been at probably 7 different companies in my career in this industry, and I've stayed in touch with almost everyone at those organizations that I was close to, because they will come back to you. They will come back to either help you find the next thing, or you may need a resource, or someone good to fill a position at your organization. That's where you go. You go to your network. So I would say build your network, maintain your network, communicate to your network. Use LinkedIn. I mean, LinkedIn is a wonderful way to keep people up to date with what you're doing.
Yeah. And then is there any technical, like skills that people, young aspiring leaders need to be focusing on if they want to enter the cybersecurity space?
Yeah, that's a great question. I've always said that if people understand some sort of programming language, from the technical perspective, and I talk about Python a lot,
Mhm.
once you understand the logical mechanics of how to write some basic code, you understand how things work. And understanding how things work is critical to the security industry, because the bad guys try to find out how something works and where they can then break it and exploit
Yep.
it. So I think having some understanding of some basic coding, I think is really, really important. Being able, from more of a account management perspective, LinkedIn is critical. Sales, every company you go to is going to have salesforce.com. It's a wonderful way to manage your customers, your opportunities, your communications. I think you're going to run into that everywhere you go. So I would say those are a few. uh, AI. I hate to bring up AI, but everyone's going to need to have an understanding of what it means. What if you don't know what LLM stands for? There's a problem. You got to learn the acronyms, learn what this technology can do for you. It's a lot of uncertainty right now, but it's going to impact every aspect of the technology industry, if it's not already, within the next couple of years. So get a basic understanding of what AI is, how it works, how it uses data. That's going to be critical, particularly for the cybersecurity world.
Interesting.
Yes,
So thank you so much for taking the time. I mean, it
of
is
course.
super efficient. I've gone through all the question list listed here,
Yeah,
and it's very inspiring and eye-opening to listen to all the sharing. And thank you so much for the wise words that you shared towards the end of the interview. That's super
thanks.
helpful for those aspiring to enter the space. So yeah, that
I,
wraps up our interview for today. Thank you so much
I
for
would I would
taking.
also like to share one more thing. Lessons learned.
Yeah,
Have opinions. Don't be afraid to have an opinion, because a
yeah.
lot of people try to be everything to all people. Have an opinion. Learn to say no if it's something you don't believe in. So that's all. That's how I like to close.
Yeah, interesting. Thank you
Was
so
that
much.
okay?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Excellent.
All
Very
right.
nice to meet you.
Very nice having the call with you today. Our team will circulate back to you or the representative if we need further information. Enjoy
Excellent.
the rest of the day. Yeah,
Will we get to see the finished product before it's published?
definitely. Sure.
Excellent.
We'll
Excellent.
circulate it to you for your approval. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Have a nice
Thank
weekend.
you. Have a great day too. Bye
Bye bye.
bye.